All right, welcome back. This is the moment of truth. We just filled the car up with oil after I pulled the dipstick and it being completely dry. And this is the drive home. I just had the oil sitting in my trunk for a couple days and kept driving it and didn't give it any power, for like 2 or 3 days since I pulled the dipstick the first time. So the car has like 4.5 quarts of oil in it, maybe a hair more, like 4.6 quarts of oil. And yeah, I'm just gonna roll the windows up, and you're attached to the window, so sit up a little higher for you. Let the oil pump work for a second, and this is the first start. So we're gonna get the windows defrosted and stuff and head home. The battery's going to die. I think I'm at like 33%. So if the video just cuts off, right on the highway or something, that's why. And I'll post it anyway when I get home. It's kind of like if I get home. So I'm gonna start it. We're gonna let it warm up, and let's go. Clutch in, neutral, start. I am gonna sit here and wait a minute. I don't know, you can't really see my temperature needle right there, but you can see the check engine light and the coolant light. And I'm gonna wait until I see the temperature needle move a good amount, and we'll set off. The oil pressure gauge jumped right to life and is not hanging out at the extremes. And my coolant temperature hasn't moved yet, which is normal for me, for this car at least. Let's plug our GPS in. And let's set even though the air is not warm yet coming out of the vents, we'll put it on the windows. Just to kind of start the process. And for the most part, like, when other videos start that I have on my channel, my other videos, the car is already warmed up and I've already gotten through this. So I'm usually sitting here listening to music or, watching a YouTube video or something while the car warms up. So that's the only time that I actually like idle anywhere for a long period of time. And that's not because I'm like an environmental nut. That's just because I've had a lot of cars already. As a 29-year-old, I've had like 10 cars. All cheap cars, all cars that were, I paid like, all private owned cars. I never went to a dealership and bought a car. But I do like cars, and I always ended up with an interesting car at least. Going on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, Craigslist. So you can see the windows are getting better already. Temperature needle still hasn't moved at all, but the oil needle is remaining exactly where it is. And I don't have any new dash lights, which is a good thing, after putting all that oil in. And I'm just checking my mirrors now, just to make sure I'm not like blowing any white smoke anywhere from overfilling it. And I'm not at all. I don't see any smoke. And it's very cold, and I don't see my exhaust at all, which is kind of weird. What was I talking about a second ago? Man, I wish I should, I should live stream so that I can like have a live chat on it. That'd be kind of cool. But you shouldn't read anything while you're driving, right? You should just kind of focus on driving. You can't really see it from that angle there. Maybe I can change that. Let me see if I can roll my window down. No. It's the best view you're gonna get for the temperature needle, but it is moving. It's like just starting to inch its way up. I'm gonna wait until it's in the normal range before I drive off. And I'm glad that you can kind of see like the dashboard and the road, and you don't have to be strapped to my face. I will do videos like that again, I'm sure. I actually totally lost the mount, like my little head strap thing with the J-hook on it for my phone. I'll have to find it. It's somewhere in there, in the apartment. Temperature needle like did move like maybe 2 or 3 or 4%, and then just kind of stuck where it's at. That hot area. It is warm air. We'll put it on mix so we get some by our feet also. This is very cold. And I wish I had a digital temperature gauge somewhere in the car, but I do not. There's none of my GPS either. See my elevation, which is cool. My coordinates, what time it is, how long you've been stopped for. Top speed. Apparently I went 120 miles an hour. Let's just get rid of that, because I don't remember doing that in my Ford Mustang at all. Obviously off camera. Trying to be a little more like of a relaxed driver. Because when you drive something cool, it gets attention whether you want it or not. Not this, maybe that sounded a little like it's not really, it's not a cool car. It's just like a V8 and a manual, and it looks like an old Mustang, and so it's like you gotta be, I'm just very conscious like of where I am in relation to everybody else and like what I'm doing and what the goal is. The goal is always just to get home. You don't want to kill anybody, really don't want to kill anybody, like, or touch cars at all. If racing is a no contact sport, then driving around in traffic should be no issue. But it is these days. So that temperature needle took forever to get anywhere, but it is getting somewhere. It's moving very slowly. It's probably because I have the heat on, and I might actually just turn the heat up a little bit for a second because it's freezing. I'm sorry if that was so loud. I'm a little under the weather. But the temperature needle is not in the normal range yet, so I am going to sit for another couple of minutes. And, you know, it's been 10 minutes already. The temperature needle is getting there, so I'm just going to, like, we'll just take it easy. Parking brake off. In gear, and let's go. Take a drive home. I just pushed shopping carts all day. Like I do every day. And I'm gonna let this Jeep go first, so he's not on my butt. I know I drive slow. I take turns extra slow and I shift slow. As that temperature needle moves to the right, you'll see it come into view a little better. People plenty of room. You know, don't like go out of your way to be up somebody's butt. Like road rage is like, I almost like could, you know, I've had moments off camera in the past. I've been driving for like 10 years. But like, I'm not proud of any of those moments that I've had, yelling at people out the window. Even like the times, you know, I've posted some videos that I should probably take down that was going real fast, past people. And, you know, we should all just chill out in the car and use our turn signals. Take our time. Not get too upset at, like, people that jump out in front of you. Like I said, my battery might die on my phone, and I could charge it, but it would be like a cable running across. A cable would be running across like my face because the phone is so close to me, and I can still see out of my mirror, and I can still see out of my left window, but because of my phone is like right at the A pillar in my vision. shoulder there. I can see down the road really well. Nobody coming. And I forgot my turn signal there. And I know this whole video was about the oil, and I didn't say anything about the oil, but car's running great. Feels good. Just hit a bump that I always hit, I always forget about. We are doing the speed limit, give or take. People coming up behind me. I'll let them go, but I don't want to let off on the hill. But I will if they get alongside me, right? Like if there's a car in the left lane and they manage to get alongside you, there's nobody behind you, like just let off. Let them go by. You don't want to be like side by side with other cars on the highway. At highway speed, and how many of us are speeding all the time, like I am right now? I'm doing 75. I'm doing 72, and the car that I can see through my rearview mirror is keeping up, and all the cars behind them are catching up. Now I'm already off the gas, and I'm just, we're going downhill. We're at 75, catching up to traffic. I'm just gonna get off the gas pedal, let the car slow down. Use this little, still in 5th gear. I'm always in top gear, unless I have to do what I just did. Then I'm in 4th. Hardly ever go down to 3rd because it's just screaming. If you're not gonna pass, like I'm not in the mood to pass this car in front of me, it's fine. You don't have to pass everybody all the time. But when you're gonna sit behind somebody, sit behind them so much that you can't read their license plate. Like give everybody a lot of room. Most accidents happen just because people aren't. I'm gonna slide in between this Prius right here. Of the headlights, and I kind of tapped the brakes like one time so everybody kind of behind me like understood a little bit. I just, you don't have to get out of the lane that you're in to merge safely with other people. You just have to watch out. Car on my right. The need to go past, but I let them. I didn't. You see what I mean? Like you have the full control over the car. You can put yourself wherever you want. You just have to want to be somewhere that's safe. already there. They already merged onto the highway. And I want to get over to the right. And I'm going to do it now because I can see. And then everybody that was just behind me coming up real fast can continue. I don't know if you can see them now, but they can continue to go by at whatever speed that they want. And wow. It's like you have to play extra safe. I mean, I feel that way. I feel like I have to play it extra safe, especially at night, especially when it's cold and there's ice on the road and snow, because that guy goes by at whatever speed he's going, because he's just like me when I was like 18 or 19 or 20, where you just have to, like, if there's nobody to really teach you, I think I had a good start, because I started on a manual transmission car, and I don't need to step on the, you don't have to use the brakes all the time. So you don't have to show the cars behind you your brake lights every 2 seconds, which makes everybody mad at each other. And I don't know, I've driven automatic cars, I've driven manual cars. I've had a V8, I've had an inline 4, I've had a couple inline 4s. I've had an inline 6 and a Jeep Wrangler, 2004 Jeep Wrangler. It's a cool car. I liked it. I took it off-road everywhere. Down to 4th gear. That guy's turned and we can go straight. Barely got the light. Car behind me in the other lane went through the light still. I probably would have braked for that if I was where he was, but it's okay. That guy definitely didn't stop at that fucking blinking red light. Didn't stop at all. Give it a good look, both directions. Go drive your sports car slow. Go take out your cool car and like participate in traffic the best you can. Set a good example for everybody else. I don't think well, looking at my mirrors, I don't think I'm particularly like, I don't think I'm the #1 example of like how to go out and be the best that you can be all the time, but I at least want to spread that in whatever way that I can, because you can have fun in your car no matter what car it is, but you don't have to be a jerk in it. Nobody's making you be a jerk in your car but you. And I'm going to turn it off right here so that nobody knows where I live. And thank you guys very much for watching.